it's super fun, but only at specific hours. Fun is from 9 to 10. Then it's, oh, we forgot break. Hi, I'm Johanna and welcome to the Finds Room at Lindisfarne. This is where all the finds from site come to get cleaned, quantified, counted, packed away and basically ready to be then analysed by specialists. It's really good to have all of these people helping in the finds room because they all bring their own little pockets of very specific knowledge with them. So we have some people who are very good at medicine.
That's what's called woven bone, evidence of new bone growth. It can be stimulated by infection, it could be a healing fracture. It's not clear what it was.
We've got Sally, who is our coins identification guru, so whenever we get a coin, we give it to her.
This is a silver penny, otherwise known as a skeet. It's got Eadbert of Northumbria on this side, and he was 737 to 758. Then he abdicated.
We have some people who are good at geology, we have some people who are just very meticulous and take great care in working with the smallest finds. And yeah, it's just really good to have all these different types of knowledges come together and working together and everybody helping each other out. And whenever there is a question, everybody tries to answer it. So it's a lot of teamwork in here. So the guys are digging out on site, and whenever they find something, they put it into a finds tray, which should be labeled with the context that the find came from. And then at the end of the day, all the finds trays make it back here to the finds room, where they then meet our lovely finds team. When the finds come in, we just lay them out to let them dry because it's easier to start cleaning when they're dry. And then the next day we usually start with a very gentle dry brush, and then once all the soil is off, we start them with water. And once they're clean, we obviously have a look if we can already identify some bits, for example, if we can see any injuries.
Although I don't see any.
It looked really fresh to me.
It has all the characteristics of being a blade of some sort, or something sharp anyway, that struck the bone.
We can, for example, say anything about potential age of skeletons by looking at the teeth, things like that.
No tartar, no wear, but they're adult. So it was probably some quite young.
Then everything gets dried, so it dries overnight for a couple of days, just all nicely stacked up. It's my little personal filing cabinet, finds room style. And after that, we then quantify things. So that means that it gets sorted, it gets put into bags, we count and weigh everything, and then it gets put into big boxes with lots of padding to be then sent off to specialists. And that's the journey in the finds room. But we don't clean everything. There are also a couple of things that we don't clean, like, for example, the name stones that we found because they might have pigments on them. So here they are. We've got two of them. We can date them back to the early 8th century because of the type of inscription that is on them. So this one is quite special because it is one of only two that were found on Holly Island that have carvings on both sides. So on this side here, we can see very clearly some runes. On the opposite side, we can see an outline, but we are not sure if there are any runes on it, although actually they are carved on both sides. Contrary to what we usually do, because usually anything that comes into the finds room gets cleaned, these are not going to be cleaned here, unfortunately. It is likely that there are some pigments on there still because these would have been painted on. It would have been multimedia objects, so some of them with little insets of glass or stone, definitely colored, painted. So they're going to be sent off to a specialist who will analyze them first, make sure that there are no pigments, or if there are pigments, to save them and clean them up in a very safe environment where we can make sure that they stay as well preserved as they are. This is Maisie. Maisie is our finds room mascot. What's your opinion about the finds room then? Okay. So the work that we're doing is actually really important because it helps us learn so much more than just digging trenches and finding features and all of that boring stuff out there. Although some people might say that it's boring to just sit there and scrub bone for 9 hours a day, and it's not as exciting as being out there in the trench doing the big discoveries. It's actually a really nice place to be. It's cozy. It's lovely when it's raining outside. The work that we do is important, and we also have the best snacks. It's just the teamwork and the people in here that make it really worthwhile. Bye.